All right, everybody, let's get to it on a Thursday. Big shout out everyone in the chat. Last show of the year, couldn't do it without everyone that shows up and the folks that listen to the recordings. Shout out to you as well. I know everyone can't make it at 12 noon Eastern Tuesdays and Thursdays, but hey, at least you can listen. And we try to keep these pretty timely. So great to continue to do this. We will. We're not stopping. I think looking forward to 2024 and what we're going to do in the coming year. Maybe add some new features, new things. So a lot to get to. Really quick, last chance to get your software and get with everything that we do here for a discount. And then beyond that, discount doesn't really need a discount, quite frankly. I think you guys know the level of material that you get here. And if you like the harmonic levels and like to be accurate with the markets, get with the software, get with what we do now. 25% off everything. HPC Holiday is the coupon code. That's how we do it. And again, if you get the trial, if you're brand new, start over as a basic member. Okay, and send your username, okay, for the TradingView platform or any of the other platforms. You want to take a trial to all of those to hpc@sr-analyst.com. That's what we do. Also, don't forget the package here, the holiday deal, and the crypto webinar. So we're going to definitely do this short-term trading crypto webinar on January. It's Wednesday the 10th. There you go. And that's for all members and people that sign up, purchase the software, subscribe, whatever. Contact me. Make sure you contact me. Get with me on the Discord if you're not haven't upgraded to gold membership. But we're going to do things that involve what I want to focus on for today, and also, of course, the big patterns for 2024. And I think it's really important that we, just stick to the framework. We don't get too crazy with, especially in hype phase, when things go hype, go crazy. And I think the immediate chart to be looking at right now is Solana. So let's get into that. Let's start with crypto. I will do major markets. Settle in, get your coffee. Okay, we will have a nice session today and open to your input, feedback, all of that. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Ron, Rogelio, Elon Musk is here. What's up, Leo? Pat M, Chargers. Everyone else, Evan, what's going on, guys? What's up, Patrick's? Did Tilray pop? Because I haven't looked at that today. Oh, now you got me. See, that's part of the stocks we need to get into. We need to get into the low floater. Oh, yeah, check that out. Yeah, this looks like it's moving. We'll get into that. Crude oil, cannabis, crypto. Probably the 3 C's for 2024. But Solana, folks, let's really dig in here because we're making our bones on the harmonic pattern framework. And the framework is not only the pattern itself, but it includes the trade management levels, target 1, target 2, understanding confirmation, understanding also how patterns unfold if it's 5-minute chart, daily chart, weekly chart. The expectation's the same. Now, I will admit that the longer term charts, they have more of a frequency, in my opinion, to when they really go blow through target 1. Like if it's a new long-term uptrend, beautiful pattern like this, yes, there is a more likely chance to hit a target level and blow through it, maybe go to target 2. But we're 9 out of 10 times going to see responses, reactions to whatever level. If it's a trade management level, if it's a target 1 level, if it's a target 2 level, if it's a PRZ initial test, all of these events, harmonic trading events, if you will, typically go through some kind of reaction at a minimum, and that's been 20% on Solana since we've been talking about that. Not the end of the world. It's just, it's kind of like a natural mechanism of how these things stair-step their way to where they go. So seeing this reaction phase, also I tweeted this a day or two ago over on X. Yes, I'll start calling it X. I wouldn't want to misname anything, but yeah, right after Christmas, I just suggested this. Maybe we go right at 120. I said maybe Solana goes into a 30-day pause here. So, yeah, that's probably what we're doing. Now, are we going to go all the way back to 47 in that type 2? Because this was the other thing I just put up this morning. This is more for just for consideration, okay? And I think if we're going to be pure harmonic framework people, we need to ask ourselves that question here on Solana. Would it go through a perfect type 1 and then do the return phase? Go back to 47, give you the perfect type 2 at 47, and then explode to 174. So the framework is there to serve a purpose. The framework is there to save our butts, to tell us where these inflection points and not only inflection but character of the move start and begin, start and end. Not only that, the kind of the new phase here of we have to accept that this is exhibiting initial signs of pullback, retracement, type 2 return behavior, I would say. Okay, doesn't mean like, I'm not saying it's going 47 right now, but we have to ask ourselves these questions because as the crypto markets get really heated up, and if it's Ethereum, and we're going to get to Ethereum in a second because that did a major test, major hit at target 1 and responded. We need to get really in front of these levels, okay? And this is really specific to our group here. If you're not working with harmonic pattern collection, please, by all means, I don't know if you need to get the software or you're having trouble getting the software, reach out to me, we'll figure something out. But the purpose here is to prosper from the levels, from what the harmonic algos and patterns are dictating for these moves. 122, target 1 to dump to basically take profits on that and then have a 25% pullback so far, 20 almost 25% is more than significant to where if we're going to be active traders in this cycle, we need to take action on those kind of events. Now, I want to highlight maybe a more conservative approach that we could break that down even on a daily. Just say, all right, this is in a short-term daily retrenchment. Hey, not a surprise because look at that move. I mean, I don't think anyone would feel like doing something like this and then come back to a 618 swing move as low as 90 or hey, maybe even as low as an 886 of that prior launch point before it continued on what is still a steep uptrend. I mean, and this is, I just think this is something where we have to realize that we can still be in a moon phase on Solana and have big retracements. You're at a point, though, with a lot of these, you have to trade them. You have to trade them. Important, really. Understand that, and on a percentage basis, when we're talking things of potential 20, 30% swings, we have to be active on those kind of situations. Other positions, other moves, things that are longer term positions, I understand, why you would endure those kind of swings, but for a percentage of your amount of exposure to crypto, I think there's got to be some kind of account dedicated towards this shorter term swing opportunity. In the crypto webinar we did back in beginning of the month, I laid out a static portfolio, which has already done fairly well. That had Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Avalanche, Cardano, and Solana in that as a buy and hold at that price. I think the portfolio is up like 15-20% already. But of your total capital dedicated to crypto, take 20% or 30% of that money to actively trading. If you're game for doing the work and being in front of the charts and as a trader, this kind of stuff has to be responded to. So a big event, and Solana's been one of the big cap market cap leaders. Okay, this thing 10 to 120, amazing. So money's flowing, driving the total market through Solana, and you want to watch this. We want to see what this does. I mean, Bitcoin doing that digestion that we talked about too in recent sessions. Nothing crazy, but a pause, digestion, retracement, retrenchment, however you want to say, consolidation, and that continues. We have seen where if Bitcoin's kind of flattened out for the last couple of weeks, that some of those other altcoins have run. I mean, they've no doubt the last 10 days, altcoins have benefited from that type of consolidation phase. Let me blow that up. Yep. So let the air go out of the tire. You haven't even had, you do have an HSI up here, but you haven't checked back. HSI right there. But we haven't even retested that high, which really should happen. You should see the check back and then a dot, but give it a little more time. Here's the interesting part of why I'm starting to maybe look for a little more of a retracement here for BTC. Is that if we get this weekly amplified RSI to come out, like, look, it's looking like this, and then come down like that. There you go. There's the amp RSI chart for Bitcoin. Okay, I'm watching that, because if it falls out of the overbought extreme, okay, that would again at least seal this temporary reaction consolidation. Look for that to go to 50, and then that sets up the pullback. Sets up the pullback for what we would then anticipate to be the secondary run right into the halving. I mean, this is how it seems to be shaping up, where getting some inflection here on RSI, or our amplified RSI indicator. I think the same could be said on standard RSI. But it's not, I'm not concerned. It would actually set up for what I feel would be an ideal opportunity. You get the complex structure, you come in for a little bit, you trigger it, and then you set the stage for a launch pad. Really, set the stage for the launch pad. And I've gone through the long-term charts, long-term targets, and measurements on what BTC could do. But you have to set it up structurally with price. And right now, it's just digesting that. The big deal overnight was Ethereum. So Ethereum, where'd you go? Ethereum did a couple things. One, it checked back this weekly HSI. I thought that's pretty interesting. That's right there, 2350. I mean, really a first step, kind of a, since the rally on the weekly chart, a first level to consider where you could pause. Again, pause. Daily chart, the big number, some of the exchanges didn't hit it. The big number is the crab pattern. Okay, target 1 on the crab. Why is that not showing up? Let me remove the bat for a second. It should be the crab here. There it is. Okay. I don't know why the bat's showing up now, but really close to 2480. It varies, 2450, 2485. That's it. You know, really close to that 2480 number, just shy of 2500. That's target 1 off the deep crab. That has been the whole scenario all along. I've really been looking at that for a long time. So 2488 overnight, somewhere 24, we're almost there. What was this? This is Bybit. Bybit, yeah, 2450 seems to be the high that was there. Coinbase, I think, was a little bit lower. KuCoin 2440. Yeah, 2440 seems to be that consensus high. Really close. I mean, a stone's throw away. And so with Ethereum doing what it's doing, that's still the target. Maybe we push a couple more days up here. 2486. All about hitting the type 1 target. I'm not expecting anything huge, but a pause, okay, to come right around 2500 psychological level, not a surprise. And we do have some smaller patterns. You see this crab pattern. Check this out. Software's kicking out this crab from 2360. Okay. 2058, that would be the target 1 on the deep crab. Okay, that would set you up. Let me bring this back. And yeah, let me remove the potential and the pending patterns just to clean up the lines. You would need a yellow dot here. You're checking back this 2356 level. Just know that with a pattern, even on the daily like this, going back from July down to September low, you're at a 1618. It's a natural, the natural primary harmonic extension where you consider price action to be overextended, at least in the short term. Still want some confirmation for a larger move, but if you do something like that and then set up for a larger launch like that, it's a type 1, type 2 framework. In the same way, Solana reacting off its target 1, okay, just minimum reactive moves, but very tradable. A few more. Of course, the big ones. I'm really amazed that XRP has been just gone sideways. Something's going on there. Okay. It's kind of the calm before the storm, in my opinion. That will resolve itself, and I'm pretty sure that will resolve itself very soon, like January, next 30-day kind of a thing. Bust out of that, and you might take even another week or two to really break out, but I'm looking for this get back up to 70 or so. It might be the slug of the big market cap crypto, but it's not going anywhere, really. Just focus on this. The thing I see a lot of this of XRP doing is just back and forth hourly HSIs. Check out this Gartley that popped up on the hourly. Type 1, bang, all the way down type 2, 60.46. A lot of, look at all those patterns. Look at three patterns, three bullish patterns in the last 10 days like that. Again, another thing to be looking for is that after these do their pop move, this is a 15% pullback. Okay, 15%, 20%, 30% pullbacks. Got to think there's an opportunity. That one, yes. Hey, if we come back, do a type 2 of that crab all the way back at 58, you know, we could try to do one more thrust under 60. If it came back to 60 one more time, I would say that's probably it. And this thing is ready to ramp, especially with the new month coming up, new year coming up. Question Gothago's asking, is the lack of XRP volatility indicative of bullish price action? I think so. Hey, if it was going to be weak, you wouldn't be printing patterns like that on an hourly basis. And this has been just in a steady stair step. I think we get crazy with crypto because we expect everything to moon all the time. And the funny thing is that we think crypto, after it 10x's, we're looking for the next 10x. I mean, people with Solana, you know, you rode it from 12 to 120, and now you're already looking for it to go to 1,000 with no retracement. It doesn't work like that. You know, you go through phases. I talked about this on Tuesday. Markets will move in bunches. You get that thrust move, and then it just, you know, keeps going. Then you settle down for a little while. That's really price action. The phases of price action. A couple more. Here is, sorry, I wanted to get to Link. Here's Link. That's another one. Just steady climber. Okay, a couple of really nice patterns here on the 4-hour. This is a big deal for Link coming up. I'm looking for this from a shark to a 5-0. And I think a lot of people do know that the shark, really nice reactive pattern. But not everyone knows that the response of a shark to come down to target 1 actually makes it a 5-0 pattern. There might be 1 or 2 instances where it doesn't line up to be a perfect 5-0. But with the crypto bearish patterns in general, we've been looking for these reactions to come down, give us confirmation, and then resume the uptrend. And we'll look at the Chainlink chart. Why wouldn't that? You know, that's on a steady climb. This deep crab pattern, that's on a daily, completely failed. It's one of the things we talked about with Chainlink was the fact that not only did it fail the bearish pattern, but gave you bullish daily continuation. And until that registers some kind of overbought reading, yellow dot up here, that's still moving higher. Weekly chart looks like this. You know, I mean, that weekly chart Let me remove some extra lines, remove the dots even, and just take a look at the weekly chart. You know, steady progression, about to break out. Any kind of strong close up to above 17, 18. Nothing but air up here for much higher levels. I mean, the all-time chart for Link coming in on the 382, which is 24 bucks. Like that. So just a steady uptrend. I mean, really impressive movement going on here. And that longer term chart looks like a perfect parabolic cycle. Come down, consolidation, beginning a new cycle. Remarkable stuff. Few more. I did want to note that the sector style movement of crypto really has been taking shape in the last few weeks. So you have things like metaverse, that if it's Decentraland or if it's Sandbox here, you have Rune, Alice, a whole bunch of even those other strange ones that really have started to kind of get off of the larger lows. I mean, this has been 95%, putting that in T-coin range of losing 90+% of its value, trying to do what looks like a really nice long-term weekly base here. Down 37 cents or so, 40 cents is absolute long-term support. And then once you get back, really the show doesn't start until you're above $1. So Sandbox still down there where you're looking for these short-term pullbacks and continuing to pick it up. Now, daily chart sets up with, here we go, another shark pattern. First bearish pattern off the low, and did get rejected right off that 1618. But this is the pullback situation where if you get it, it's going to be a big opportunity. You know, if we go shark to 5.0 here and basically resolve the first thrust with a nice retracement, this pullback is going to end up probably being your launch pad. You know, if these patterns start to shape up with the bearish patterns within the weekly bullish patterns, you've got a lot of structure here that's saying, okay, the next pullback, the next oversold situation probably is going to give us not only the technical oversold level, but the structural standpoint to launch into a much higher time frame, you know, go from like being within a daily range to actually busting weekly ranges. Rune already has done that. You know, Rune already made that big move off the low, going from $1 to $6. Another first thrust kind of a thing. There you go. It's like that. Remember, with all of these, we're looking for the all-time retracement range to be retested. Basically go to the 382. That's what this did. Down to 382. Almost, just shy. 382 for Rune's like 850. Do that move, some kind of retracement, and then you've got possibilities for the larger term 50 to the 886. I mean, I've gone over that many times. Generally, that's kind of the speculation ranges that we're looking for. I don't care what crypto you're looking at. We're looking for a minimum pop, minimum big bust of a move. Then maximum, usually going to be the 886 on your worst of coins. Those that are going into price discovery, you know, you take them as they come. Like, remember Injective? Really amazing. Injective was one where we talked about that at 7. Like I said, this thing's really building nicely, and at $7. Really fantastic breakout, and then it just completely sailed. You know, those price discovery ones, those are your 50x. Don't we all wish to get to those? Speaking of X, Immutable X is another one like that, injective. All right, nice trends in the last couple of months, recovering quite nicely with some real range to bust up through. I think this one's got, there you go, some back-to-backs there. Beautiful bat pattern back in October, right at 50 cents. Okay, 50 up to 240. There you go. Let's get some dots in there. Almost the point where the weekly's in charge. There you go. Yeah, I knew this is so HSI is rolling over on injective. And I'm watching a lot of these like that. They're kind of high flyers, perceived high flyers, where they made real impressive first thrust runs. Now, if we get the pullbacks, those are the kind of ones we want to load up on. A couple more of those. Oh, yeah, look. Another one that did that recently, which is Avalanche, which I think really just kind of following, there you go, following Solana. I mean, 2-to-1 kind of ratio, but Avalanche flirted with 50, got back to 40. If the weekly closes where we are now, you're going to get HSI. Amplified isn't quite there yet, but we could go into a pause here as a first thrust move. But this is another one where I'll take the 382. I still think I was looking for this to go to 65. I'll go to the daily chart in a second, but your 382 is 65, 62. Thought we'd get that. No, I'll move that to like January or February after a little pause. That and then 886 range. But where's the, sorry, Avalanche? Let me get the pattern there. There it is. Yeah, it is a bat pattern. There was a few patterns here. This one says 70. Yeah, that's it. That is 70. Let me blow that up. That's 70. What was the other one we were working with, though? Yeah, I'll have to come back to this. That one's 70. Oh, here it is, the weekly chart. The weekly chart was 63, but you have HSI right now. Still would need a check back. You know, this is just the first week since the last that last bullish continuation at 10 to 50. All right, pause it for 5x and give me something on the downside. Give me 4 hour here. Anything yet? Yeah, shark. There you go. All right, that's the kind of thing I want to look for. What about confirmation? Not there yet. Keep an eye on that one, though. That one, Axie Infinity. This is another one we were talking about where it did pop. Now it's coming back. Got overbought on its run to 11. Okay. Well, there's daily. I mean, but that was 4 back in October. Just a pause here, you know, not surprised. And then you go to the weekly. Okay, recently we were overbought. We're hitting a little overbought signals here. So if we're going to consolidate for a little while, relieve that overbought pressure as we've doubled in the last 10 weeks. That's okay. Look at the larger range. Look at what we're shooting for. And that's not even a good chart. That's a good chart. There you go, Binance feed. All the way to 140, 150, all-time high. You know, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying let's just think about the minimum on this cycle. Your minimum goal, I think, for all of these kind of T-coin crypto, T-coin 95% or 90% correction of the last cycle, you're looking for 382 moves. Even with that, 382 is $65. Think of it that way. There's a few others that are, interesting to say the least. Speculative, things that have popped pretty hard. Where is that other one? There's BNB. How about that? How about that? BNB held the 200. I was really concerned about it right here at 200 when it was just scraping that shark level, and it popped, hit the target 2. On the day, on the week, it hit target 1 level, just popped, went straight to target 2. Pretty impressive for now, but relative to this whole range, it's just kind of a first thrust thing. I expect some consolidation here. You are kind of overbought. You hit the overbought level on amplified RSI as well. Okay, watch this. Watch what it does at 335. But impressive move. Okay. And if it's just the start of it for BNB, I mean, BNB and some of these other larger cap ones should easily get to the 886 eventually. But your minimum 382 moves, you're almost there. I guess for a while we didn't look at that because of everything that was going on, and it decides to pop. Okay, still quite early. 382 is at 385. Look, let's dial it back really quick to Bitcoin before I move on, because there's a lot of opportunities coming in here. It's just that these markets have floated up so much for 10 weeks. So we don't want to pile in, after a large run when we could possibly get some things on a pullback. The whole notion of Bitcoin needs to give us a B point. The big pattern for 2024 for Bitcoin is going to be, where does the W structure take shape for 2024 and 2025? But for the pattern that's going to set up to give us a B point, to go to a C, and then explode, okay? That's what we're looking for. That's the framework W foundation of what we're expecting for the cycle, for crypto, for Bitcoin. And I do think this is a Bitcoin-focused, Bitcoin-centric crypto move at first. In a year or so, or come next fall, you could see a larger acceptance or adoption for other coins, other projects, for sure. But Bitcoin's got to lead you out of this. Bitcoin has to get this price action fueled to where you get serious money to flow in here. And I say serious money to where, go to the total index. Because I'll argue that if this cycle has already begun, the kind of money that's going to come in here is will need to be several $1 trillion. The whole premise of what's going to happen is that crypto is going to get all these ETFs. All these projects are going to come to fruition. Great. Just think of it in the same way the .com stuff happened. For those of you that were around at that time, or even .com Web 2.0 after 2008, you saw those kind of moves. NASDAQ. I mean, we'll look at that in a second, but you're thinking that this is a crypto allocation cycle that not only recovers what you lost, but takes you to price discovery, to a 1618 price discovery minimum. I mean, that's just the general premise of a growth cycle. And if we're going to talk what it means to be harmonic, if we're going to talk really about what the 1618 truly means, it's just a growth iteration. It is a natural, expansive growth cycle that is 1.618 greater than the prior collective growth cycle. Okay, it happens in nature, plants, animals, whatever. The proportions exist throughout the universe. Okay, this is just our natural assumption. And in that assumption, crypto gets allocated another $3 trillion from current levels. Ideally, in the next 15 months, 12 to 15 months, you see a bulk of that money, maybe not all of it, more than half, 3/4 of that allocation happen in the next 15 months. So if you're here buying your tickets for the ride now, okay, that's what we're all hoping for, whether you know it or not. On a harmonic level, harmonic kind of measured move, what that means, it's a growth cycle. It's a natural growth cycle. It's done it before. It goes to a 1618. That's the minimum. Not 886. You know, you're not looking for this thing to go to 886 and then go down. You're looking for this thing to go to 886, pause, consolidate, and then realize a 1618 allocation total. Don't care how it gets there. Okay, if it's all thrown into Bitcoin and Ethereum, it doesn't matter. And again, minimum. And it's a lot like the 2018 cycle, where that was well beyond a 314. There's 1618. There's 1618, sorry. About 1.3 trillion, 1.25 trillion. And then it went, there's your 3618 on the money. Okay, but look at the 314 reading. What happened there? You had a massive response, a 50% correction before the final move that led to the much larger 60, 70% correction. Okay, things to be anticipating as we get into the next year of what's your end target? Understanding, why. We're playing the cycle that rhymes, doesn't necessarily repeat, but it's trying to. And these are the objectives. These are the measures. Where 1618, yeah, that's a minimum. What would be a 314? 314, if 1618 is 4.3 trillion, 314. Kind of funny how these guys are talking $8-9 trillion in terms of a gold allocation. Okay, when your 2618 is up there at 6.7, 314 is like, 314 is 7.8 trillion. 3618, forget about it. 3618 gets you to 9 trillion of the last cycle. I'm not saying that that's where it's going, although it did it on the prior cycle. I think I'm would be very pleased to see the 1618 be realized. You get $3 trillion thrown into this market in the next 12 to 15 months to get there. I say 15 months because I do think it's going to spill into 2025. And then you wrap up that cycle, I don't know, spring of 2025, May of 2025, something like that, and then go into a correction. That's what we're thinking about. Okay, so if we are there, And let's take a look at that last move, because if that's the pattern, that's the framework for crypto, the total index, that's everything. We have a wave of money, folks, coming to crypto for the next 15 months. And that's a wall of money, trillions of dollars of money coming into that space, potentially. Okay, even if half of that amount comes in, you're still looking at major moves. You would be essentially right here, or I would say here, because we don't know if this B point, how much that B point is going to come back. But generally, of the 2018 decline, excuse me. Okay, you pretty much are like here. How much of a correction do we get coming into this new year, or a pause? We'll see. There's going to be something to take shape before that moon phase really goes. But we're going to get a W formation. We'll use our minimum extensions. Okay, I really think that is critical to understand. That is what everyone here. That's the hope. That's the FOMO that you feel, measured within pretty defined levels of possibility. Now, let's take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, and let's wrap up with this pattern. Okay, because this is really for all of your T coin, and that's toilet coins is a T coin. It's something, I just started talking about T coins because everyone said S coins, and you know what that stands for. And I don't want to I try to keep it somewhat family friendly here, but the T coins being the even lower, less loved market cap ones that without take out Bitcoin, take out Ethereum, it's this index. And so this index, this beautiful weekly bullish bat pattern, confirmation, everything you want to see, still is yet to hit its target one, which suggests, go to 500, from 510 to 676 billion. Still is a nice chunk of money that has to get up there before this pattern even resolves itself. That's the way to think about it. You go back to the all-time chart, and what I find interesting is that if crypto as an asset class is going to continue to exist, well, this is a pretty nice long-term chart based off the fact that you have kind of the IPO cycle, if you will, all the way back here. Real huge parabolic corrective move, was able to not only consolidate in ideal fashion, but then exhibit another cycle. And now this corrective cycle happening at not only a much higher level, but all-time 618. Okay, all-time, let me show it to you. This all-time range of what this big cycle is with the bat pattern. Hold on. Do this. There you go. Right at a 618. Okay, long term. And something to know about, look, it's difficult to conceptualize it because it takes so much time with these long-term charts, but they play out the same way. And let's assume that this corrective cycle is over. The bottom's in. We're starting a new one. This has given you the structure already to where it could do very much an all-time A, B, C, and then another D to a 1618. Okay, we're going to come back to this very session 1 year from today, and we're going to see how this shapes up. But again, making these assumptions where if we get the ABCD right and we're at the C point inflection, okay, this is a devastating move for total crypto. Total crypto, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, meaning speculation is on. All right, I think that's remarkable. I think let's segue really quick to the stocks because MicroStrategy killing it. 886, book it. All right, this needs to be. We need to set up some. I really want to talk about big patterns and big things for 2024. MicroStrategy going to 886 at 1155. Let's book it now. Okay, new cycle. We know that really began in earnest just in October, despite this stuff back here a year ago. But let's talk about something like that. Or even better, because this thing has such a unique history, and even as crazy as the history can be, I've seen this in charts, going back to the 20s. It's just peculiar. But the ranges matter. And even if they're insane ranges. I don't believe I just did that. Hold on one second. Let me go back here. So with MicroStrategy doing what it's doing and having, all-time high. Go back. I mean, all-time high on MicroStrategy is 3,000. There it is. Back to 98. That if we connect dots here, and I'm with the recent action, I'm impressed with how this thing blew through 500. And we've been targeting 6, but we connect dots. It's something like this. Again, like a lot of the other crypto with the just assuming an 886 is coming together, this has proportionally B point there at a 40. Come down here to C points at an 886. No surprise. We're only looking at 2 levels, 1100 and then 2900, 3000. Retest that thing. So be aware that this stuff is on. I mean, it's taking shape quickly. Quicker than I anticipated. The thing about what the pattern, the weekly pattern here, that's failing right now. It's a perfect deep grab with one problem. Okay, one problem is the price action has blown through, gapped through the zone, and then continued with closing high at the weekly high, the monthly high for the year. That then puts this hop level around 600. That's your support. So we get a pullback, maybe 602, something like that. Keep an eye on it. I don't think other than these 1-bar ranges for the weekly, maybe you consolidate inside this thing, but it's already started to launch. I mean, I think MicroStrategy could be starting the moon as early as next week. And don't discount Coinbase. So all along we said Coinbase, once it cracked 120, it goes to 215. There's the arrows. Haven't changed the arrows one bit. Where is it? Oh, it's a daily chart. There you go. So it's this crab pattern. Hop level was 49. Remember that? 210. That's just nonstop till 210. And again, minimum objective. I mean, Coinbase is strong. That continues. That doesn't change. 270 at target 2. That's a possibility as well. Keep an eye on that one. Couple more. The miners, probably one of the biggest movers of this October cycle has been stuff like this. Look at Bit Digital. Just rocking. And again, this is probably headed on a 1618 advance up to $7 minimum. We've really, there you go, 1618 off of that pattern. And yes, you can do it like that. Is 685. Remember though, weekly chart, weekly, it's still a target one objective. So this tells me that people are positioning in finally to get ready for this cycle indirectly through these stocks, and they're really playing catch up. It also says that they were terribly oversold. You know, absolutely just got devastated beyond oversold now to play the catch up and go to an average mean price level. Easily, I would say 13. And we know stuff like Riot, which is another one. I put that out to members, and I shared it with everyone here too, where Riot at $10 headed to 32. You know, now 18. So these are all familiar to everybody. The question is, how are we going to really leverage up now to catch the accelerated move? This has just started the acceleration, and believe me, Riot pops above 20, it shoots the gap straight to 32. I think options are probably appropriate. Get a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see, any 5-minute, anything interesting there on a 5-minute chart? Nothing yet. We'll get opportunities. We're looking for that larger, more aggressive pop to continue into January on these. And certainly for next year. You know, this should follow the Bitcoin curve. Evan, no problem. Evan says he sold, look, he sold Mara. He's talking about Mara, Marathon Digital. He said he sold it early. No problem. Get another opportunity. We'll get a little 5-minute pullback on something like that. But there's Marathon. Marathon had the bat pattern right at the hop at 759. But the weekly patterns were better in Riot and Bit Digital, and then CleanSpark. CleanSpark is one of the tops in the whole group. Look at this, weekly. Just a quick update. I mean, this is a real precise group that we have focused on for the last few months. Beautiful stuff, though. And again, for the crypto cycle, these are phenomenal patterns looking left that provide great opportunities, no doubt. I mean, these are the kind of patterns you want to be a part of. If the crypto allocation cycle is going to happen for spot crypto, the companies as well, probably a crypto index. Anybody know what a good crypto stock index would be to follow? Is there one of publicly traded crypto companies? Be good to know. A few more. Okay, you guys want to look what? Filecoin? Was that popping? 605. Yeah, Filecoin's starting to move. When we got on Filecoin, 605 at the moment. Oh yeah, we know. Look, Filecoin is that return trade on the daily from 540. That should be a quick pop, 7-8 on this move. That's something. Look, that's another strategy, really helpful strategy. I know there's a lot here to take in on harmonic patterns, but if you understand the reaction dynamic, and it's labeled T1 and T1 dollar sign. Look, there it is. T1 reaction down to T1 dollar sign. That reaction moves over. Now we do the return back to retest the zone. Keep an eye on that. What's up, Drake? Drake wants to look at that Litecoin ETF, LTCN. Did that thing, didn't that pop pretty hard? Yeah. It was 3. Went 3 to 16. All right, you tell me. 5x right off the low. That's like GBTC. That's like the Ethereum. Amazing. Amazing. Again, just getting started though. Because look at the trading history. That matters. Litecoin is, I think there's some nice patterns longer term on Litecoin. That's kind of like the MicroStrategy chart as well, the last 20 years, quite frankly. We'll get a pop in that. I think that's something where probably not a bad thing to be looking at, just as a speculative vehicle. But it would likely take time, and it's kind of tough to jump just yet for me. I mean, 3 to 16, I need to wait. I need to see something. There's a 4-hour chart. Hold on. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I need to see something oversold on a 4-hour or hourly just to try to a place to jump in on to try to capture the next leg up. So I don't know. What's up, Neil? Neil wants to look at H bar. I think that's another one big pattern looking left, and that's just time. Some of these that haven't moved yet, well, I mean, this is relatively speaking, it's only doubled, but we do know the long-term history here. Yeah, that's got a big bat. Where'd he go? Hold on. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. There it is. So it is a monster bat. It's just another one. We do want these. I mean, that's what you want. Okay. 4.5 cents to 9 cents. Great move, but it hasn't started yet. Give it time. You got to give it time. It's again overbought at the moment. We need to see a little bit of a pullback back to 7 cents or something. If you wanted to FOMO, the only way to FOMO would be start with a small position. But I think you can wait. We'll get pullbacks. Look, here's Internet Computer. That thing started to pop. Just check out what this did on the hourly. Hold on. Recently. Okay, this one, again, gets to the tradability of this stuff. Internet Computer done a perfect type 1, and now for the type 2, that's stuff you can trade. I mean, you're talking 5-10% moves, all within a 24-hour period, 2 of them. I do think, yeah, VET and REN are both big harmonics that haven't developed fully yet, and that's okay. Look, VE Chain is doing what we thought it would do. It's doing exactly what we thought it would do. It's just it hasn't mooned like the rest of them, but off this weekly pattern, there you go. We have come out of the zone, and now you're looking to do the proverbial saucer separation. I know what some people maybe think. When I said that about Bit Digital the other day in a post, some people said, "Oh yeah, well, saucer separation was at 2 cents." I say this more as like a joke of like, okay, the spaceship is leaving the station, kind of a thing. I understand like saucer pattern, all right, and that the fact that there is a saucer pattern, technical pattern, that did really occur at lower levels. But I mean, you could say that's a spoon and handle, cup and handle, whatever. That's still developing, but certainly stabilized, about ready to go from stabilization, consolidation to acceleration, accumulation. Get to 5.5 or even 7 cents on VeChain, eventually to 11. And it's one of the positions I have. Definitely. I wouldn't say monster, but it's a decent size I have on VeChain. Yeah, Justin, that was one of the coolest things with the Star Trek Enterprise, that they could detach those. So they could detach the saucer part of the ship with the rest. I don't know. When I riff this, guys, it's just associations. It's really a lot of the terminology and stuff for me is like, what is the most profound way I could get my mind to remember certain characteristics and traits and things that happen. So a lot of times it's unintended kind of commentary, like T-Coin. T-Coin's unintended commentary, but it just, but it worked. It stuck. Do I see these running? What's up, Manuel Johnson? Do I see these running to the 1618? Yeah, that's our premise. That's our 15-month premise for the markets and for crypto, that we're on a new cycle allocation move that goes to 1618 across the board. Yeah. Here's the Ren really quick. I didn't show that. Okay. But this has started to move a little bit. Not huge. Where's the pattern on this one? Not there. Where's the pattern on this? On Ren. I did think there was a big bat pattern or something there. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what happened on Ren. You know, the one I am thinking of that is starting to move. And I didn't jump on it. I stared this sucker in the face at 25 cents. Loop ring. Loop ring. Loop ring is a daily, big daily pattern down here. Couple things. Well, small at 20 cents. But look, there's the big Gartley. I know that's kind of crazy that the XA level is at 95 cents, but really what it did is it came all the way down to the 16. It gave you that smaller pattern, which you're hitting those targets. And that target at 34 cents was just hit. But that's a nice one. An example also of kind of a delayed movement factor, because you could have picked that up as recently as Thanksgiving, right back at the 886. I mean, that was under 20 cents not 6 weeks ago. What's up, Lenny? Lenny wants to look at XYO. That's a great T coin. Really had some great patterns down here on the daily and did a big thrust move. I think this piece of garbage will probably come all the way back down and retest. Give me a T2 down here. But that's probably slightly higher levels. If that could come back to like 35 cents, what is that? Yeah, it's 0.35 cents, 3/10 or 4/10 of a cent. Then I'd be a believer that could do something. Still, just every move is just a thrust on that. Thrust back down, thrust back down. That probably doesn't change just yet. It's and this was 8 cents to a fraction, 2/10 of a cent. But that's a T coin by definition. I think other things like Zcash need to be watched, monitored. They just have lingered in these pattern zones. But what do we know about the pattern zones? Look, if we've got a pattern, in my opinion, it's just a matter of time before it really launches. And this is a T2. Kind of ugly. A wick down, but there you go. Eventually, this will bust out of this lower range, but it's making progress. With another one we talked about forever at 25. Okay, only 31, but talk to me in 3 months. Talk to me in 6 months as we resolve this stuff on a larger scale. And this goes for all of those, like Monero, slow, steady. I think what will happen, and here's Monero, why I like Monero as probably one of the top picks of all of those type of coins, is that beautiful type 2 butterfly. Beautiful. Oh, the other thing. Oh, forget that. Well, don't forget that, but look, talk about delayed reaction here. Ethereum Classic. You guys know I like this one. I mean, really, the proof of work, I think there's going to be something that will stand out, in the years to come, that will be a digital mechanism. I can relate to that. I can relate to that being the kind of the digital mechanism that monitors the Ponzi scheme and operates the Ponzi scheme in a fair way. And I say Ponzi scheme in terms of a good way because, hey, Federal Reserve, that's a Ponzi scheme. And they're just able to print more money. Bitcoin, in a way, is a Ponzi scheme in that it relies on new investors. I mean, all investments rely on new investors, new money to always come in. So the reason why Bitcoin works is because of the algorithm, because it's kind of a self-maintaining creature. Ethereum Classic as well. So this one now making the progress where you're getting out of that zone. This is delayed, no problem. But 53.93 is still target 2. That's why I'm so excited about this. It's not just a quick pop. This is a major support low. This is major harmonic support. Go to target 2. Be patient with it. I think that's the thing. Get the software, understand the framework. I mean, this did the perfect type 1 T1 to T1 dollar sign. There's your reaction. Come back down to T2. The only thing I wish I would have seen is some kind of bullish confirmation down here. I mean, maybe we'll get it at a higher level. I don't know, but RSI looks really firm. I mean, look at RSI. This is standard relative strength. Look, not only did we break out of the 50 level, but we're above some prior resistance in RSI that this could give us that big push higher. And price has yet to move. This will be really interesting. That there, folks, is, I think, a big hidden difference where you're looking at RSI. This is in a completely different situation here than here or even back here with what the price action's done, retesting the pattern, and now accelerating, clearly busting up above the 50 level, making a move, closing in on 70 RSI. That is the ideal bullish price behavior before the price realization. Keep an eye on that one. Couple more. You guys pulled me back into crypto again. Thought I was out. Now I'm back in. Storage. Yes, I did post on that. So listen, an example of trading it. Okay, so here's the deal on storage. It's after a real nice move up to $1. Here's the daily. Daily. Where is it? Daily, come on, where'd you go? We had big patterns on the low. Okay, yeah, there it is. All right, so check it out. It is already a completed type 2 on the daily, all the way at the low. So you're looking for pullbacks which this is already done. And I'm looking at 4-hour time frame as well, but let that come back, pull out, pull back, give the inflection, come out of the zone, and start again. The 4-hour chart. Was it 4 or hourly that I posted? I think it was hour. Let's see what the hour is. A shark. There she is. So here it is. Shark. 72 is the hop. There's your dot. Okay, I posted it before the dot. The zone's pretty clear. 72 to 78. There's the dot at 72. Looking good. Give me a little 3-bar, something. But that's right where you want to see it. What's amplified starting to come out. All right. So a little early here, but I'm liking this. Get that moving. Get that moving. And the thought is shark to 5-0. This is more of a tradable candidate. Yes, it could explode, but I'm more interested in this doing a 50% rebound recovery, go to a buck. 72 to a buck. Talk to me in a week. Talk to me in 2 weeks. All right. 1 or 2 more that I'm still really liking. Here's synthetics. I'm still not into a big position on this yet, but it's a big pattern, and it's getting really close to busting out of the zone. It's a bat pattern going back, to 2020. 360. Hey, if you can get it at 360, go for it. Man, I feel like I should make a pot of coffee and just dig in. Let's really quick. Let's jump to stocks. I kill in crypto. Last show of the year. What's going on? Everybody still awake? How about we give away a gold membership? Next person to type in GOLD wins a gold membership. First one. Let's do a new way of getting this filled. Hanging Lotus, you win. You've got to email me. So new way. Email me, harmonictrader@gmail. Hanging Lotus. Okay? You got to email me your information. We'll give away 1 or 2 more. Giveaway Thursday. I gave away a ton of books. I signed those. We're shipping those out, so you guys will get them in a week or so. QQQ, folks. Let's just do stocks quickly. 424. It's the 113 objective. Talk to me in January on that, and we did a pretty solid fill of the long-term thought here of where this could go. You guys do know that NASDAQ's up 45% for the year. That's like .com type stuff. And it really is interesting that people aren't feeling that great about the NASDAQ being up 45%. But it's up 45%. I think it's a narrow 45% with just the top ones. Doesn't matter. Still up 45%. So, hop level, 445, 47. These are all possibilities, I think, for right now. You just climb your way up until you get to 424. Longer term, let me show one thing I wanted to relate about crypto. And I want to go back to NASDAQ in terms of cycle analysis. And this actually is good for what we want to consider for NASDAQ. Because, look, the .com bust was the biggest bust before crypto that I ever went through. And you had a lot of things go out of business. But it mimics kind of the whole cycle recovery, speculative cycle, and then bust. Let me get the whole index here. NASDAQ Composite Index. You're going to see some fantastic patterns, but I think we have to relate it for crypto, and that you understand that even as devastating as things can bust and then recover spectacularly, they all take time. And even with the NASDAQ, as strong as that was, check out this monthly chart. So NASDAQ lost 80%, 85% of its value. This is 2000, okay, into the 2000 level, and spent better part of 6-7 years sideways. Even the the financial crisis, that produced a beautiful crab pattern. This is a monthly chart. So think of it this way. We talk about patterns looking left. This was the NASDAQ at the low after the financial crisis. It was a perfect type 2 with a dot. Never looked back. Never looked back. Still, and this is probably one of the strongest recoveries, kind of reminds me also of post 87 in the Dow, but even within this incredibly strong recovery, and I want everyone to think about this within the current markets and crypto going forward, you still had to go through, say, a 382 correction. That was a little extreme there, but still. Or even you got up to, say, the 50 level. Along the way, in this dot-com 2008 recovery, there's 382. There's the 50 level. Up here is the 886. My point being, each part of the way, you did realize some pausing, consolidation behavior at each harmonic level. All right. And this is one of the strongest recoveries, market examples I can think of. Even take a look at, say, the 1618. Okay. Be aware of that. Be aware of that long-term dynamic as we look at Bitcoin, crypto, even these other markets as they progress. Big stuff happening though. Big stuff happening though with where we are on NASDAQ monthly, because I really think this is a amazing chart that super strong. How big is the breakout going to be? Because if we see a monster breakout for NASDAQ, and this is monthly and probably going into 2025, or dare I even say the second half of the decade. Because if we're going to blow the doors off of the economy, technology, that we've really had a so-so first few years of this decade, that if we're going to get that acceleration phase, then talk about this being a monthly chart. 7B point at a 707, then we go to a 1618 on a monthly. On the composite, 1618 on the NASDAQ composite, 20,000. And it does look like this W formation is taking shape to where that's not a crazy formation to consider. All right, I'll look at first and foremost, yes, we still have to overcome the 886 on the NASDAQ composite. That's a likely objective really soon, only 500 points higher. So still higher, but that sets you up for then, okay, we're going to break out. What kind of a breakout? And then what's the force, how strong it is? Take a look at NASDAQ composite here. And this is really important for 2024. NASDAQ composite had the big correction. Let's blow up RSI. I actually should bring up the e-signal chart. But this, folks, is the RSI band taking shape. We have a W formation right here. It goes to the 50. That was your bear market. Bear market went down to the 50, took 6 months, Now, not only have we popped above the 50 to return for the final retest, well, this last corrective move was about as strong of a retracement as you could get to set up for what I think does give us a monthly or month over month extension to where the minimum retest to get overbought is about to happen. Could be something where it takes us into June, May, June, doesn't matter. This is a strong dynamic. It is breaking out exactly where it should, monthly chart. And the follow through, kind of subsequent follow through move for the next several months leads you to finish that scenario. This is the makings of the RSI BAM. And the RSI BAM, the defined rules are that happens at either a 113, which is 17, or a 1618. These are minimums. I should pull that up. Where is that? Here, I'll do it on another chart. Bring this up. Okay, big pattern to consider for the next year. Why? Because if this harmonic dynamic has to complete, it's almost like an automatic process that the divergence, we have to go up to complete the divergence. We have to go to either not only retest, really by definition, it's retest the all-time high minimum, but a 113 move where, let's just say we were super bearish on the market and we thought that this whole thing, this long-term uptrend was going to roll over soon. To do so, at a minimum, we have to go to new highs. We have to kind of do the fake in divergence. And even with that happening, you're still looking at another 10% higher. Okay, so any pullback, anything in the short term still says our longer term targets are wanting to push higher at a minimum. And with the likelihood of this, yes, being a 1618. That's the big pattern that's a monthly chart. And your indicators, your price action, look, it's up. The trend is up. And even if we wanted the trend to be over, it still couldn't be over until you get to those levels. Big part of why 2024, just another big reason why 2024 shapes up to where the arrows point up in its favor. Yeah, let me find this. I'll do this maybe next week. I think to go through and show why this RSI BAM thing, it happens this way, will help people to kind of get their head around where we are. And I'm not saying just FOMO into this market, but continue to buy the pullbacks and continue to stay with this stuff to target. If it's, if it's Microsoft or it's Intel, what have you. Hold on. Trying to find it. Here it is. Here it is. There it is. Okay. It's this. Come on. Where did I do that? Oh, here we go. That's it. So you are right here on your monthly NASDAQ. And we have to come back and do the secondary test. Even Wells Weiler said RSI is all about two tests. So we get this reaction, we get the final divergence. So again, even if we were bearish, this has to retest the prior highs. You have to get that secondary reading to confirm what's going on. I'll get into more of that next week because it's a big development. To understand that you're in that part of the final phase, and that final phase is a lot higher, it makes it a lot easier to be positioning longs for that follow through, and any pullback, stuff like that, again, as we continue to progress, only get stronger. Like right now, 4-hour chart, yeah, look, there's the yellow dot just on the last bar that completed when we started today. And then conversely, look, right at the low. Nice 4-hour Gartley pattern, high level Gartley pattern, but really clear. We will get plenty of these opportunities, folks, but understand that's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why NASDAQ's up 45% this year. We are continuing, closing at all-time highs for the year. Here's SPY. And I really went a long time on that. So same approach, same thought process for SPY, if not better. Here's the SPY with weekly. There you go. Thing about the SPY and all of the patterns from last year that completed, okay, they're not going to come back for the type 2. You're getting these that are really exhibiting type 1 blowouts, continuations where they never come back for the full retest. And that's fine. I mean, how do you know? Well, you know after they clear target 2 level. And there's only one place to go, to the 1618 off of this pattern. I mean, not only is it a 1618 simple extension, but it's 1618 off of a defined defined pattern off the last retracement. So that's still 565, 476 at the moment. I mean, it's just real strong. And look at HSI right now, weekly. I mentioned this last time. This is the most important thing for SPY to be considering tomorrow's close and how we start into January. Okay, we're assuming these are doing 1618 advances. What I want to see early in this year, in January, is for this to push a bit higher and give me some new readings in HSI going back a few years. The last reading on HSI was about 108, 109. Then we would really be able to see that, hey, there's a lot of strength up here. In fact, the highest reading in the last decade was at 112 on HSI weekly. And that preceded a massive run. And that's what we want to see. We want to see force on this breakout move. All right, a few individual stocks. I see you, CJ. I'll go right to you for Carnival Cruise. Carnival Cruise, just go. Just go. We can FOMO. It's okay. Why not FOMO? Just throw money at that one. Carnival Cruise. Missed being a perfect type 2 by pennies. But when we think about what we're talking about here, a monthly chart on Carnival Cruise. It's a monthly crab. That's really what it is. And, cruise lines are as cyclical as crypto. I mean, cruise is commodity, stuff like this, commodities, transportation cycles. This is the end of a cycle. So this is a new cycle. The new cycle actually started back in 2020. And so you're still in this early consolidation. What's that mean? It means that $8 at the low is scraping support. And what you're really talking about is a new cycle that gets you to minimum objectives 31 or 47. For these recovery cycles, that's what you're talking about. Get some perspective. Okay, I'm here in Miami. I see those ships going out all the time. It's not going to stop. So is this on a discount? Yeah. It's just a matter of time. And really focusing in on the price. We were looking at around $12.50 and then $10 area, $10.50, $12 area on that. And even at 18, that's a great move, but it hasn't started the big move. I would be looking at something like that long term, that you're only concerned to go to target one, $31. Couple more. Let's get individual. Stuff like, well, let's just go to the big ones first. Microsoft, okay, 375, remarkable. It's 1618, 1902. We're talking 450, 500. Yeah, Microsoft trading of $5 trillion eventually, probably. That's just an amazing chart. Amazing. But I think other ones like Amazon have my interest in terms of what it could possibly do longer term. So is Amazon going to bust up above the target 2 at 147? Because you have the bat pattern. And does that just keep going? Because if it breaks out all-time new highs, then Amazon does yet another 1618. It's a shame. It's not, likelihood of this coming all the way back down for a target 2 would be a lot. That would be a lot. The market would have to give up, would have to be in a major correction mode for Amazon to do something like that. And with what we're looking at currently, no, we're still seeing market go up. So keep an eye on that. It just profound patterns. That's a monthly chart. Monthly. Same with Google, Alphabet. What are you going to do here? You're at the all-time 886. There are bearish patterns up here, but I don't care what happens here. I'm more interested on the breakout, like the rest of them. Okay, you're above 150 or 155. Forget it. Google's in full price discovery mode. That's the only pattern I really consider going into next year. We might have challenges up here at 145 or 150, that 886. Maybe you consolidate, retrace 10 or 20%. Doesn't matter, because what you're looking for is, again, the next 1618 advance. 195, 197. You're close to realizing that, to where you wouldn't have to wait around so much. Path of least resistance is still up once you get into that price discovery. A couple more that I think are really important for the rest of the market. I've been looking at things like Target, right? Remember that? Now 142. If we want to see the rest of the market really widen, explode, and breadth to increase, things like this will continue. Target 166. Okay, and that's a monthly chart. So these are big recovery patterns. There you go. It's a weekly as well as the crab. Oh, it's a bat on there. It's a crab on the daily. So it's not like we're wrestling with major bearish patterns, reversing off of bearish patterns. After the massive decline, bullish patterns all over the place. This also matches up with the banks. So a lot of people talking about financials being underloved. I agree with that. Here's PNC weekly. We were looking at that at 129 earlier in the year. Did nothing for us until the last few weeks. And that's important. Those are definitely big patterns that are playing out. The other one was Bank of America, which is probably going to be a big winner in the new year now that it's resolved that bat pattern at 26. And go to the monthly chart. There you go. Get a little perspective on your monthly chart. Where are you in the monthly? Still trying to recover the financial crisis all-time highs. But they could make a run for them. Would be interesting to see that happen. The other one, got to be looking at this, which is XLE. Okay, still holding up here. looking like, and that's your monthly chart, okay? And look like we had the perfect type 2 up here start to roll over. But we do know crude oil put in a low at $70. And on the daily, this is what's going on for XLE. I'm starting to warm up to those stocks in general. Okay, XLE longer term looks top heavy, but seems like it could get a bid in this fashion. XLE come down maybe early in January, something like that, and then set up for the type 2 for a bigger move up. Okay, there's this has been pretty much a dead market for a while, but I do like what I'm seeing. This could be something where it, regardless of how much of a retracement this comes in, if we print high level patterns like this, I'm not going to ignore them. It's actually the longer it stays up here, the stronger it gets. That's XLE. Keep an eye on that. There's the weekly. Where are we? Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Lawrence? Rig is definitely something on our list because rig looks like this. Rig is Transocean. And perfect bat pattern, 568. Should be that target one low. And then you have this daily bat pattern right now, which I'm looking at around 626. Should start to make that progress back up. There's a few of those. The bigger ones like Occidental Petroleum, Warren Buffett's all over that. We should be looking. We're getting pretty close to a nice buy point on, there you go, daily. We can get a type 2. It was a shark. Did a type 1 reaction. Now come on back. This is lining up exactly with XLE. So if we get a push down, that's going to create a really nice type 2 opportunity some point early in 2024. I really feel like that's going to be a big one. Some of the first patterns we've seen, if it was Accidental or Schlumberger was the other one, I was mentioning down there at what, 46, 48, 48.59, and that's still valid. So keep an eye on those. Really, I think they're primed, and I think crude oil on the next test, a lot like what happened when you go back to 2023 with this earlier in the year. You had the early move and then a secondary retest, and bang, it really set it off. So much the same way, we're about to get that secondary retest here and then go. All right, let's give away one more gold membership, GOLD, and give you 30 days, and it will get you to go to the crypto webinar. All right, and you have any questions on that, please reach out to me. If you guys, it's on the 11th. Okay, get over there. Send me, you have to email me, harmonictrader@gmail.com. Michael Fisher, welcome. You win. You are in. For everyone else, please get over to harmonictrader.com. For the new folks, welcome. I've received a number of new, I think they're new crypto people, new to Harmonic patterns, whether it's crypto or anything else. Go to Harmonic Trader, sign up, go to the basic members page. You want to send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. If you at least get the trial and then you want to upgrade the first week of January, I'll still honor that discount, but this is it. Holiday deal is it. That's it. Once it's tomorrow night. It expires tomorrow night. This is your last chance. HPC holiday. Get 25% off the software. That's it. It's on you. And then dig in on the 11th. You also get the gold membership, so you get to the Discord, you see all the charts, everything we're posting, ideas, stuff like that. Awesome. Michael Fisher, congrats. Please email me. All right, guys. I give you 2 more minutes to shill me whatever. As a year-end wrap-up, looks like markets are getting kind of slow for today. We got tomorrow, and then we'll be back in full next week. Let's look what's the Q's doing right now. Not much. Flat to nothing. You got it. Yeah, I expect this for today, tomorrow. People are out of here. It's going to be quiet. What's up, Brian? Let's look at Clover Finance. Is that what that is? Clover Finance. Let's see. Clover Health Investments or Clover Crypto? I'm going to guess it's crypto. Oh, there you go. Clover Crypto. All right, perfect type 1. There it is. Shark pattern. Shark to 5-0 with a deep crab. So there it is, 7 cents. Cap it for now. Come on back to 4. 4 or 5. I like that. Let's do lightning round here. AMD. Frankie wants to look at APLD. What's that? Applied Optomics or something? Oh, Applied Digital. Yeah, nice bat. That's a good low floater. Nice. A little late at this point. Can't really do much with that. AMD, I think you guys know that I'm all about semiconductors. Yo, look at that. 149 on Applied. Are you kidding me? Whoa. That is amazing. I gotta think, Advanced Micro is all-time new highs. Oh yeah, we talked about this last time. Yeah, Advanced Micro is gonna bust. 166, the all-time high. Maybe just, YOLO the FOMO on the like June calls. The other one I love, super long this. You guys know I'm down on Intel. I really just going to continue to go. 50.43. We're almost at target 1 here on Intel, 51.72. So I'm really close to. Let's see if this is we scale out phase here or if we blow through. Nothing yet. Look at your RSI exploding, expanding, amplified. So that might still be early, but I'm close to looking at this. Is that going to be a scale out, or are we going to get a blowout? It's pretty close to having to make that decision. Couple more. Sol bounce. Is Solana bouncing? Let me see. No, even on the market cap chart, look at that. Let's see. No, Solana is 99. That was as low as 96. But you have to be patient on that. Nothing there. No. Couple more. 1 inch. 1 inch is. I did see that popped recently. 1 inch on Tether, yeah. 35 to 45. It's a crab, but okay. What was that? October low was 22. But this is a good one for what we want to see, where you get a type 1 pullback. Or did that already do the type 1 pullback? Let me check another chart. Yeah, you did have some real gyration in there. Yeah, 1 inch is going to be, just let that come in. At least there's a pattern where, okay, maybe 37, maybe 40, but that has to come back. Just like here, just like, look, 10 days ago. What was that? 20 days ago. or a month ago. So you'll get another oversold trigger, and then that will get you where you want to be. We already did VeChain. Bristol Myers, sure. Bristol Myers is beaten up. There's a couple of those. Baxter, some of those other medical device companies. But this is a monthly on BMY. My lesson on things like this are, these are kind of forever stocks. So BMY, a real slow mover over the last 5 or 7 years, but you're coming back to a big point. Around 42, starting at 46. And that's the way to use the patterns for long, super long-term investments. I mean, look, there's 20 years ago, you were at 20 and now you're at 50. Not the best. I mean, hey, it's a double still, but it's not the greatest. But the long-term uptrend on a stock like BMY, it's like J&J. If you're going to put your money there, yeah, use the patterns to get precise, but you're looking to buy and hold that almost as like a bank, as if you would park money in a bank, and you're just looking for that to hold it like that and maybe pick up a couple % on the dividend yield. That's it. A couple more. Tesla, sure. Look, I think Tesla is one we have to look at. It really hasn't done much yet, but Tesla's an interesting pattern, chart pattern for this very phenomenon of what's going to go on. Are we going to break that resistance? You need to. You really need to break this right shoulder. Otherwise, what you have here on Tesla is a pronounced head and shoulders pattern. I'm not crazy about head and shoulders because their reliability is not great. You really need something on the right shoulder. But this is still a reality. It's a big deal for Tesla for next year. Maybe we come back to like 280 or something early. But what you really want to see on Tesla, like if you're a Tesla Super Bowl, above 295, above 300, it's a different creature. Just think of it that way. You're still in indecision mode, okay? But if you really wanted to FOMO Tesla and be long it, the acceleration begins above 300. Why? Because then that whole scenario fails. It's an interesting, dare I say, harmonic head and shoulders, and that's in volume 3. The whole notion that, yes, you can have a harmonic head and shoulders. What is that? Well, it's a head and shoulders with an XA level. Okay, whatever that is defines what your right shoulder should be. So XA right here is a 1618. Truly. I mean, it's a little bit more. It's actually almost an exact 1902. But it should be the reciprocal. So if that's a 1618, this should be like a 618 down here on the right shoulder, and that's what it is. And all of that's at 295. That's a big deal on Tesla. What was your other one? Oh, Meta. Meta is another one. Listen, let's forget everything we think about Meta and people that run Meta and whatever. You tell me. You tell me. Massive crab pattern. And this has the markings of a type 1 blowout because you have a high level bullish continuation right there at 300. I think what you're looking at with Meta is it to do another 1618. You know, amazingly, there's the all-time. I can't believe that last year. And now you're here at the 886. What you're really thinking, and I am thinking this with Meta, you're going to do another 1618. Why not? That's 550. This is going to be the Super Bowl scenario. If it's Microsoft or Apple or Amazon or Meta, that's the thing we're playing for. And I think we're going to get to certain points early in the year where that becomes obvious reality. I really feel that January and when you move into new contract dates, it does matter. I mean, it does matter, and something like this, it kind of even harkens to a all-time ABCD. You know, your ABCD can be like this. You know, A to B, C to D is like that. That's at a 786, so your actual is going to be like there, 490, but it's still higher. You throw up the projections, it's still pointing you higher. Few more. I did Ethereum, did Litecoin, gold. Sure, gold. Let's just take a second and then get the heck out of here. Gold. Impressive, right? What do we know about gold? It's just getting started. This is another 1618 creature. Dare I say canary, right? The Mitch Ray, Scott Carney, extreme crypto canary pattern. What? This is kind of a joke, but it's kind of not, where that then goes to a 2618. I do think that this is the move for gold. And maybe this is the year for gold, where we know what gold wants to do in the short term. It's a 1618 minimum, like 2400, 2350. But the big move, I mean, we're talking the big move, big thrust move, 2618 or a 314 to really do something crazy. Okay, that's like 3600. So do understand that gold is, guys, it might be the biggest thing I've ever seen since the crash in the 70s. But in terms of this move, this next move will be even bigger than the move from 300 to 1400. I think this is the breakout move that, all right, 2700, 2500, sure. But no, I think the 2000s would be bypassed pretty quickly on gold. You heard that first. I think it would go straight to 25 and then straight to like 36. So yeah, gold is a serious thing to consider now. In a way, maybe it's certainly in the last 10 years, but maybe in the last 30. This might be the biggest breakout since the 300 move. That's huge. Miners, things like that, definitely. Why not look at like the JNugs? It's a great way to play it directionally. Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't know why that's like that. The scale is not good. Bunch of bullish patterns down there. Maybe down at 30 bucks. But you want that to break out and really get decisive on you. Something like the GLD or one of those kind of double, triple GLDs. That might be another way to go. I mean, that's been strong. Well, we know the GLD on the monthly chart is, there's your 1618 again. And interestingly to note that, you know, there's the inception of the GLD ETF. Okay, people did get a lot of exposure to gold through the ETF. That's why they talk about Bitcoin. That's why they say the Bitcoin ETF matters. Because instead of having to hold the asset yourself and be responsible for it, you can buy some paper that represents it, you know, online digitally, and you get that kind of an asset allocation. You know, 30 to 150. Nice 5x move. If that's where we start the ETF for Bitcoin, and gold can do a 5x on its first 10 years, Bitcoin can do the same. Not a biggie. I just don't think it's just going to take time. I mean, and the easiest way to get exposure to gold is just to take a chunk. I mean, don't over allocate, but just know that that money, look, you're on a rope here for gold, especially younger folks. So instead of putting it in the bank, put it in gold. Instead of putting it in a savings account that yields 1%, 2%, take your money and buy a couple GLD shares and never sell it and get it, as use it as part of what you use to store emergency money. I mean, seriously, because that's the opportunity cost. I mean, that's how you take advantage of opportunity cost of forget putting the money in bank. You're not going to get any interest return. But if you could park a chunk of money in the GLD and never have to look at it, it's always there for you. That's the way to think about this. Don't be looking for anything major move, but just know that that will steadily grow over time. Yeah, and then I think the GLD ETF is a great consideration for crypto. And you see what has happened there. Okay, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Listen, I wouldn't be here without everyone. I have to give a big shout out to my wife. She is amazing, and my son. I couldn't do it without them either. But all of you folks as well, I greatly appreciate this makes the markets a lot more fun for me. So great to be with you guys. And again, everything that I do over at Harmonic Trader, 90% of it is free. So do yourself a favor, please exhaust the free materials, the free basic membership, the software, everything else. And if if you're having trouble getting connected with the software financially or whatever, send me an email. I'm a pretty easygoing person. I'm here to get people on this so that you guys have the tools to navigate markets for yourselves, for your life. All right? So have a great one. Go easy. Understand New Year's Eve is rookies night. Okay? All the rookies are boozing New Year's Eve night. So be careful. Enjoy yourself. Have a great 2024. It is going to be an amazing year to come. So until then, everyone, have a great one. We'll catch you on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. As always, go get them. See you next time.